Isn't the work of the prosecution and the judges and the police is to seek the truth, is to seek justice? Or is it just to seek convictions? The interview you're about to hear might help you understand that. My name is Imran Siddiqui, and this is FairPlay.
You're listening to FairPlay on justicenews.net.
I'm an innocent man sitting in prison, and I can't never get that time back.
Welcome to FairPlay. I'm your host, Imran Siddiqui on justicenews.net. And today we're speaking with Leonard Coleman, who is fighting from inside a prison in St Clair Correctional Facility in Alabama against what he calls his wrongful conviction in 2010 for the killing of Kimberly Mixon. Leonard has spent 10 years behind bars, and he's in there on a life sentence. Thank you for joining us, Leonard.
And I thank you for inviting me so I can get my story out.
First, I just want you to relax, take it easy, and I would try to take you back in time.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to unload the entire sequence of events that happened on that day.
Okay.
We're talking about, it was December 14, right?
Right.
And that was in 2010.
Right.
So take us back into time.
Okay.
And tell us exactly how your day unfolded that day.
Well, that morning I had woke up and I ironed my son's clothes and I had ironed my daughter's clothes for school. I was ironing their clothes. Then finally I got them up and told them they finna get ready to go to school. So as I got them up for school and everything, I told my son, because the day before my uncle had just gave him like $10 because he made an A on his report card. Then I said, well, son, when you get out of school, I'm going to take you to the store. Then he just whispered to me and say, no, Dad, we're not going to go to the store and spend this money on no food or candy or something, Daddy. I want you to have it so you can take it and pay the bills so you won't have to leave me like Mommy left us. And I said, son, I would never leave you. I would never leave you. I say, I love you, son. I'm going to always be in your life because I love you. I say, you're my son. And we hugged each other. And so I told him, go ahead and put on his school clothes while I get his daughter up. And so I kept calling the victim, and I kept calling her, asking her what she was doing. Well, I called, and I wouldn't get no answer, and I kept calling, and I wouldn't get no answer, so I put my phone on where it'll call itself. It'll keep calling, because they had that option in. And so then I finally left and got them ready, because I was trying to get my daughter hair combed, because she usually combed my daughter hair every morning. And so we drove over there to see, because she combed my daughter hair.
Okay.
As we were driving over there, we was driving down the street. I saw this truck following me. It was the dude that I had got into it with, Moses. And he had rammed me from behind. And so when he rammed me from behind or whatever, we was on a high-speed chase, so I was going through neighborhoods and stuff like that, trying to dodge him or whatever. And so when I tried to dodge him and everything, trying to get away from him, finally I had lost him and whatever. And so when I had lost him or whatever, because I told my kids, I told my son, I said, get down. I said, Moses is behind us, because my son had got up and started looking like, and I told him, get down, because we in the truck. And he had a truck just like mine, only different. I had a GMC 1500 Sahara. He had a black GMC Sahara, about the same year, 94 model. Mm-hmm. And so finally when I lost him or whatever, I drove on around and I went to the victim house or whatever. And I said, well, everything's safe. Everything is good. And I asked my son, I said, go knock on the door and see if she there. And he went and knocked on the door, because him the sad thing about it, him and his sister was in the back seat wrestling or whatever, because he loved to irritate his sister. His name LJ. He's a junior, and he loved to irritate his sister and tantalize her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Stop, leave me alone, LJ," you know, and all that. And so I said, "Get out. I'm tired of y'all arguing. Get out and go knock on the door." So I made him get out so they can separate. Okay. And so he went and knocked on the door. Nobody came to the door. So my son came back to the truck. He got in the truck. So when I went on around the block, the bus was coming by just in time. And as the bus was coming by, I went ahead and let him get on the bus right there. And so when he got on the bus or whatever, I went and sat in the parking lot at the school and went ahead and combed my daughter's hair. And the school had took her in early. Actually, like 7:45, they took her in early. So I went ahead and signed in for 8. And so then I had left. As soon as I went back there, I went over her house. She was there. Okay. So I went in the house and talked to her or whatever. And I saw her and I talked to her, and she was like, I said, what are you going to do? She said, well, I'm going to take him to the doctor. I said, you need me to go? She said, no, you need to go and finish doing your house so you can get ready to sell it. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, well, she said, just come back by 1 o'clock. I should be back way by then. And then you can take an excuse up to the school. Now, let me let you know, all this is like a block away. She stayed 2 blocks from me, okay. And the school is 1 block from, the school is not even a block from her. It's a half a block from her. But we all still on that same strip. Yeah. And because you could walk from my house to her house to the school, you know.
So that means you could hear the gunshot?
Not really. From my house to her house, you can't hear it. Because, like I said, it's about 4 blocks away. But you can still walk it, though. You know, it's still walking distance. It ain't nothing. To me, it's like a 5-minute walk. Okay. So, actually, I had went in there and we talked or whatever. And my son had a little toy gun that he was playing with. And he kept shooting it, but he's not strong enough to cock it back, because you have to cock it, and he'll start crying because he was like, he got autism, he's like mentally that he get his accolade because he get upset because he can't talk and tell you, could you cock this so I can shoot it? So he can't tell you that, so he'll start crying and whining and throwing temper tantrums because we can't understand what he's saying, and that's why we had got him evaluated, because we could say, you hungry, and he won't say, yeah, I'm hungry. He'll just say, you hungry. He'll repeat what we're saying to him instead of saying, yes, I'm hungry. Yeah. And he'll just start crying and get frustrated because we don't understand what he's saying. And that's what she wrote up in the report, that he gets upset. He gets upset because we don't understand what he's saying. Yeah. And he get to whining and he throw temper tantrums. He get angry, frustrated, and he want to fight.
Wow.
She told me, just take this junk. She said, take this junk with you, and she whooped him. She started whooping him. Talking about, you gonna stop crying over this? You ain't gonna have your way.
That's tough. Man.
I said, you not gonna be crying over this toy gun. She told me, take it with me. I said, okay, I'll take it with me. And she gave me a kiss and say, look, just come back later on today, and I'll let you know what happened. Go and get your house ready if you gonna sell it or whatever, so you get your house ready to sell. I said, okay. So that's what I did. I went home. And so I went in the yard and started cutting down bushes and moving stuff. And my neighbor had came out like that morning, started talking to me and everything. Like, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to cut down bushes. She said, this early in the morning? She said, boy, you crazy out there that early. I said, well, you know, it got to get did, you know. Okay. I'm the only man. I was like the only man in my neighborhood. Well, it's another man. It's 2 men in my neighborhood. But my neighborhood is like a cul-de-sac. It was a brand new subdivision that was built in 2002. And I stayed there like 7 months before anybody moved in. And so it's 13 houses in my subdivision. 2 of them are men, and the other 11 houses are another females stay in my neighborhood. So all the females in the neighborhood always want me to do something for them. Could you do this? Could you fix this for me? Could you do that? And I don't charge them nothing. I always help my neighbors out. I always come to their aid, you know, because I'm one of the only men in the neighborhood. Yeah. And the other man in the neighborhood, he's married, so you know his wife ain't gonna have that. So I always help the neighbors out and do everything. And so I'm getting my house ready today to So whenever I call the agents, when I get ready, because he pointed out, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this if you want to sell it, but you got to go do this and that. Whenever you do all this, call me back. So I'm trying to get something to go ahead and get a move on it.
Yeah.
And so my neighbor said, well, my neighbor talked to me for a minute. Then she went back in the house. She said, well, I'll talk to you later. And she left or whatever. And then I saw her come back in the neighborhood, maybe an hour later or whatever. And I was still out there. And so then finally, by 1 o'clock came, it was time for me to go. So I hopped in my truck and I drove to my neighbor's house, which is up the street, which is my friend. His name is Robert Hudson. He's a police officer. He worked for the police department. And he asked me what I was going to be doing that day. I said, nah, what, you need me to babysit again? He said, probably so, because I got to work a 16-hour shift. I said, I ain't no problem. They can come play with my kids, because his kids and my kids are best friends. And you'll read that in the transcript, because he got on stand and said that. And so his wife, niece, which is Brittany, she said, what you about to do? I said, I'm finna go get Sarah and LJ from school. She said, what, you want me to go with you? I said, yeah, you can come with me. So she hopped in the truck with me. And so as we riding down the street, you could see down the street, you see police just going down that way. So I was like, why are they going that way? So I went up to the next street, because there's 2 streets going to that street, like a horseshoe. So I passed the first street, which was Martha Street, and I went to the second street, which was First Street. I turned down First Street going to Bowman Court, where it happened at. It was so many police down there, I couldn't even get on the scene hardly. And so I thought maybe something was wrong with my son, because my son had he was sick, and we didn't know what was wrong with him. So as I was trying to go to the door, police stopped me. He said, hold up, you can't come here. I said, my son stay here, and my baby mama. I said, anything wrong? He said, hold up, wait, just wait. I said, is there anything wrong with my son? And he was like, he said, hold up, I'm sending somebody out here to talk to you. He went and got somebody, and this thing I know, they put me in a police car. They said, come here, you got to come with us. And they put me in a police car. So I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm sitting in a police car.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting in the police car, I don't even go get to pick my kids up from school, because it's another block up the street, because I stopped to see what's going on. So now my kids still at school. So I'm sitting in the back of the police car, and then I see people coming up to the window, the victim's family, beating on the window, to my, you killed my cousin. We're going to get you, punching the window. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn.
So next thing I know, they take me to the station. They leave me up in this room for like 4 hours, and it's real dark. That I can't even see my hand, it's so dark. So they just leave me in there. And so finally, I see the officer that the homicide detective that my baby mama used to date.
Okay.
And so as I saw him coming in and everything, it was crazy, because when he was coming in, we looked at each other, and he looked at me, he just smiled, laughing, say, I need to ask you some questions. And so as he was asking me questions and everything, it started off like, he said, where were you, such and such? And I'm telling him everything I'm telling you pretty much. And so then he said, well, then another detective come in the room named Quinny. His name is Batsby. And Quinny came in the room. Quinny started saying, well, he said, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to take me some places. We're going to go get in the car, and we're going to go for a ride, and I want you to show me some things. Like that. Yeah. Then he started asking me, like, where's the gun at? I said, where's the gun at? Yeah, I need to know where the gun at. The gun that you killed her with. I said, killed who? Mm-hmm. You know, you had killed your baby mama. I said, I didn't kill nobody. He said, look, he said, be a man. You did this. He said, because your son said you did it. He said, free your son's soul. Do this for him. Give him peace. Give him rest. Just be honest about what you did. I said, but I didn't do it. You know, for like 5 to 6 hours of being interrogated, only thing I kept saying, I did not do this. So they started getting upset. Now they playing good cop and bad cop. So he started saying that, okay, so this how you want to go out? You want to go out like this? You want to go out as a monster? Okay, that's how you going to go out. Because we're going to let these people know you did this. we're going to call the victim and let them know you did this and you're a monster and you didn't have no remorse. You didn't even kill. People going to be janking your kids at school and stuff, saying your dad ain't nothing but a monster, a murderer, and he couldn't be man enough to admit to it. That's what's going to happen. That's the end result. Then he started showing me his computer. The officer started showing me his computer, like everything was going on, how they were talking about everything had happened. But it didn't mention my name. He said, you see this? He said, soon the headline going to be, you did this and you're a monster. When I tell him that you did this, he's showing me this on the computer. He said, because you're going down for this. One way or the other, you're going down. So you might as well just go ahead and confess to it. And I said, but I didn't do it.
Wow.
And they said, you're a murderer. You ain't got no respect. You ain't got no respect for your own son. To do your son like this, to kill your baby mama in front of your kid like this. And kept saying that, so they walked out the room.
But they showed you on a computer screen a report that was already made. They just wanted to put your name in it?
They showed me on the screen that it was saying that a woman was kept in the house and the child left in the house by herself.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying that it was showing. And they said one thing about it, they're going to put my name in it. It's going to be saying my name.
Yeah, I mean, that's the clear evidence how they spread false reports to the media.
Yeah.
And that's what the media picks up, you know?
Yeah, and that's what they said they was going. That's what they said they was going to tell the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So what happened next? They walk out of the room?
So they walked out the room. So when they walked out the room, because I know I'm finna go down, they told me I was going down for it. They said, we're going to make sure you go down. We're going to make sure this stick. So when they said that, and I watched TV before, and when cops said they're going to make sure it stick, I know it stick. So my thing was, okay, well, they said I'm finna go to jail for a long time, so I'm a single father. Only thing on my mind, I got to protect my two children. I got to protect these two children right here. You know, so I got to find out, did anybody get them out of school, where they are? So I started calling. I said, y'all see my children? I started calling around. Anybody see my children? No, we don't know where they at. They at Charles.
Man.
And I said, I need somebody to go find my children. And I told my uncle, I said, listen. I told him, I said, break a window out. I said, go to my house, break a window out. I said, and so you can get in there. I said, get my kids some clothes and stuff. I said, they got a lot of brand new clothes I bought them. Get them some clothes and stuff. I said, it's a lot of food in the refrigerator. Take all the food and make sure my kids are okay. Take care of my kids. I'll make arrangements for my kids to be taken care of. And I said, and if you want to, I said, y'all can stay in the house, it's fine, because that's my house. I had the house built, so it's my house. I said, y'all can stay in the house.
How did you contact them? Huh? How did you contact people?
I grabbed the phone that was in the interrogation room and just started calling out. And so I'm going to tell you, but they used that against me, and I'm going to tell you how they used that against me later on down the line. And so I said, go ahead, and I said, y'all can start staying in the house or whatever. And that's why I told my family. I said, well, because I told them, I said they trying to frame me. That's what I said. I said they trying to frame me. They trying to make me say I did something that I didn't do, like that. And so they came back in the room, and I hung up the phone. To my who the hell you calling? To my somebody trying to frame you? Who the hell you think you is? And they just started going off on me like they were going to jump on me or something. To my we don't know who the hell you think you is. Calling somebody trying to find out. Most of all this in the transcript, all what they wanted to put in there. And so they took me out the interrogation room, and then the police laid up on the floor. He got on his stomach, laid up on the floor and started taking pictures of me on his stomach. I got to show my wife how a murderer look. I said, I know you don't like me because she left you. She left you to be with me because she didn't want you. Like that. I said, she didn't want you because you're a hoe. You're a married man. You were trying to talk to her. She wanted something for herself. He told me, what you talking about? We all whores. All men are whores. What you talking about? That's what he said. Then he said, as a matter of fact, he said, we ain't talking about that. We talking about you murdering her. So what we're going to do is, he said, I'm going to hit you a capital murder. Make sure you get the death penalty. He said, I'm going to make sure all this stick. Like that. And then I said, you can't do that. He said, I can do what the hell I want. I'm the police. I can do what I want. Then he pulled his gun out. He said, I shoot you in your face right now. He said, it ain't never won't happen. He said, know why? He said, 'cause I'm the police. And he said, you just a young punk. He said, you just another black statistic. That's all you are. And ain't nobody believe nothing you say. And then the other two white police was in there, and they said, he said, y'all saw him try to reach my gun? They said, yeah, we saw him. He said, see that? Just that simple. Just like that. And I was like, man, no. And so the white police snatched my wallet out of my backpack. I said, "Oh, I got his ID. I got everything about him right here, Social Security and all that." And he started writing everything down. And then he took my car keys too. And they said, "That's all right." They said, "We ain't got nothing on you right now, arrest you. It's cool. We're gonna let you go."
Yeah.
And so then the other police came and said, "Nah, we're gonna go and let him go. We ain't got nothing on him right now, but we'll get him like that." He said, it don't matter. He said the family gonna get him because I'm finna call him right now and let him know I'm finna drop him off at home. And he did this. That's what he said. And I said, "Well, I need my car keys. I need my house keys." And then the police were like, I said, I need my car keys and my house keys. I need the keys to my house so I can get in. They said, "We ain't giving you nothing." They said the keys to your house and your truck, that's evidence. We keeping that. Find your own way to get in. And so they wouldn't let me in my stuff. So
find your own way to get in your own house.
Yeah, they dropped me out. The police dropped me off at the door, and he said, "Good luck." He said, "If I were you, I'd go hide. They'll probably be here in a minute to get you." So they had me locked out of my house, hoping the people come and do something to me, because I couldn't get in my house for protection.
This is FairPlay on justicenews.net.
So, I couldn't get in my house. I didn't know if I was going to break out a window or call a locksmith. So I think I called a locksmith, and they come, and if you can look that up, you can pull that report. I can get that report pulled up because I had I had to call a locksmith to get them to come unlock my house door because I had AAA, and that came with it, and so they came and let me in my own house.
Those people hated you, man. They hated your guts.
Yeah. And I understand because, like I said, he used to date her before I did because they used to work at Dillard's together. That's what they used to work together on his side job. Police have a side job, and he was making $19 an hour working at Dillard's on the side. And she knew how much he made and everything because she told me. And so he was upset with that. So the next morning, when I got up, all my family had came to check on me and see if I was okay. Next thing I know, an hour after my people there, police is everywhere. They swarming my whole yard. They told me
Where were your kids?
At the time, my kids, they was at my house. I had got them back. Mm-hmm. They had came back with me. And so, next thing I know, it's police swarming everywhere. Talking about we have a warrant, a search warrant. And they started tearing up my house. It was just tearing my house up. I mean, it was early that morning. It was just tearing my house up, taking stuff out in bags, clothing. They took about 7 guns that I had, because I have collections of guns. They took all that out. They took my computer out. They took my hard drive out. They took my video camera. I had my pictures on there. They took all that out, and it was just taking stuff. You know,
wow,
they spent like an hour or 2 hours in my house just taking stuff, fingerprinting and doing all kind of stuff. And so finally they left, and they left my house tore up and stuff. And where they had gloves and stuff, where they put on gloves when they were searching, they threw all that on the ground in my yard. Just threw stuff in my yard. There's gloves all over my yard. Yeah. And so after they left and everything, you know, my family, they comforted me and told me everything's gonna be okay. And so then I had went and talked to an attorney and everything and told him what was going on. And he told me just go ahead and get him $1,500 down, and he will represent me. So I gave him $1,500 down, and I felt a little relief because I felt like I had somebody on my side now that knew something about the law to help me, and it just gave me a lot of relief. But I was really hurt that night before when the police had let me out, and I finally got my house. I was so hurt to know that this had happened, and I was being accused of something like this.
Yeah.
You know, it really hurt. It hurt so bad.
It's like a double tragedy, man.
Yeah, and I just felt so sick. Like I just didn't even want to get up out the bed. I was just so sick. I was just broken hearted, you know.
Yeah. And
so then finally after the search warrant was over and everything, and I got the attorney and everything, and then I started trying to cope with it. But every time I look around, the news media was following me. Every time I look around, it was always something. I was always on the news. And then it was a custody battle with my son, and so I was trying to get custody of my son, and so now the news, the media all up in it saying that the man that killed his baby mama is trying to get custody of the child now, and all that was on TV, and it was like very.
Who had the child at that time?
My baby mother had the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
His grandmother.
Yeah. She had came to the probate court, and we was going to the probate court to get custody. So the attorney charged me another $1,500 for that. Take that case on.
Man.
So now I'm out of like $3,000. And so he didn't know.
The same attorney.
Yeah, and he didn't know what he was doing because he should have told me that. He was just trying to get money out of me. He never did anything about custody. He was not even a homicide attorney that did murder. He was a drug attorney. But he is so money hungry and greedy, he just wanted everything he can get out of me.
How did you meet him?
It was talk saying that Jeff Dean was the best attorney in town. Jeff Dean helped people out. He helped fight for your rights. He fights for a lot of people's innocence and win. But come to find out, that's all in drug cases. He's a drug attorney. But I have no knowledge of that. But that's why I have always learned to this day. You need to have facts and evidence, and you have to do your own research. You can't go by what people say, because people believe in too many illusions that they don't even check on stuff to see how true it is. People just go by what people say instead of looking at facts and evidence of things and doing their own research.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody researched that this man went all his cases because he doing dope attorneys. He don't do other cases like murder cases and child custody cases. Them ain't what he specializes in. Doctor to do brain surgery, or a brain doctor to do a heart surgery, or a heart surgery doctor to get a foot doctor.
Yeah.
Them are doctors, true enough. Just because they say they doctors don't mean they can perform a certain type of operation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the state didn't provide you an attorney. You hired your own attorney.
No, I hired him. He was paid $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I gave him like $1,500 up front. And so, when I paid him, I started finding out all kind of things about him. Like, first of all, that as he was my attorney, he wasn't doing nothing really for my case. But you know, I was naive about it because I like, well, he's supposed to be a good attorney, regardless of what. As long as he wins, that's all I care about. Because I know I'm innocent, and because I'm innocent and he's a good attorney, I can't lose right here.
Who was outside working with that attorney on your behalf?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody. But come to find out, you know, they was working against me because come to find out, the attorney, paralegal, was kin to the victim's family. And so, because of that, it's like a paralegal, they really do all of.
That's a conflict of interest.
Yes, conflict of interest. That's right, true. But the sad thing is about it, paralegal is really the person that set up the case. All the attorney do is argue. They go on research and find his argument and do everything for him. Only thing he do is argue the case. They supposed to get everything ready, and she did not do that. She failed to do that because of that. And then when I brought it up to her attention, she said to him, I said, well, I don't feel comfortable with her on my case because she's kin to these people, whatever. And her son and my baby mama daughter, which is 18, they hang out together, you know. And then so he said something to her, and she came back and got in my face to my some. How dare you to go tell him what I'm gonna do or whatever? I'm gonna do my job. That's what I'm gonna do. And I don't need you telling me how to do my job. I said, well, I'm not telling you how to do your job. I'm just concerned this is big. Maybe, you know, that
But the question is, did she do her job?
No. In the end, no. I mean, we got slaughtered in court. She didn't have nothing prepared. He kept on telling me, where are my notes? I thought I had some notes, and that's all he was saying. I mean, we wasn't even prepared, you know. What I know today, if I would have went to court and represented myself like I did before, I would have won, because he was not prepared. The DA was ready. They knew everything we was going to talk about. They was already on point about everything. It was just like going to war and you surrounded from every point. And so I noticed something when we got out the elevator, get ready for trial. I noticed the secretary surrounded by the victim family, and she was saying something to them. And so me and my attorney tried to walk through them, and they was blocking the way. And you know what my attorney told her? He told her, he said, "Would you get your people, please? So, and tell them to let us by." And she said, "Y'all let them by," and they got out the way.
Wow. Man.
So when they got out the way or whatever, we went on by. And so then I saw the DA. She was sitting there telling the police officer what to say. She telling her, "Read this. This is what I want you to say." And I'm like, man, she coercing her to say what to say. She's saying, "That's what I want you to say." The child said, and read this and look over this. I'm like, wow, she's sitting there coercing her to say this is what the child said. And I'm like, man, it's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there looking at them plot up against me, making up stuff. And it's like, wow. And then they got the media making me look bad, making me look like a monster. And I'm like, man, it's all on the news, you know. It was one news reporter. She had saw me, and she said, "So this your client, Jeff?" She said, "I want to interview him." And Jeff said, "No, I don't think that's good because I don't want to reveal nothing of the case." Then
what?
Yeah, he said, I don't want to reveal nothing about the case, so I'm not gonna let you interview him or nothing. She said, then the lady said, she said, "Well, he's very," she said, "he's kind of cute. I would love to interview him. He's very cute. He's very handsome." She was giving me compliments, and she just started laughing, and slipped me her card and told me to call her. So Jeff advised me not to though.
Wow.
So then I went home or whatever. I went home or whatever. Had left out the courtroom or whatever. But I'm gonna take you back before that. Before that, I was at Jeff's office, and when we was talking at his office, I got a call on my cellular phone. My neighbor, the same neighbor, said, "Hey man, you got police surrounding your house," and that was on February the 23rd. And so I tried to figure something out. So I went on Facebook real quick, and I looked on the victim's page, and I see the daughter put on there, "Thanks God, hallelujah. That murderer finna go to jail. They finna go pick him up right now." And I'm like, wow, everybody know that I'm finna go to jail but me. And so Jeff Dean, my attorney, started saying, "Hey," he said, "Listen," he said, "I'm finna go hide you in my condo. I got a condo in Orange Beach. I'm finna go put you in my condo, and you're going to go stay there in my condo till I find out what's going on. We're just going to hide you out there." I said, "I'm not hiding nowhere." I said, "I'm a man." I said, "I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't kill nobody, so I'm finna face the music. If they want me, they don't even have to come get me. I'm finna go down to the jail and turn myself in." Like that.
But the question...
He said, "You should..."
The question is that before they ask you to turn yourself in, or before you go and turn yourself in, there needs to be some kind of an evidence, right, that proves that you did it.
Right.
Where is that evidence?
Hearsay. They just had a lot of hearsay going on, you know. And so I'm gonna break all that down to you. And so now they telling me, they didn't say nothing about turning myself in, and then I just knew if I got a bunch of police in my yard looking for me, I know I need to go ahead and turn myself in. So that's what I did. My attorney, he said, "What you gonna do with your children?" I said, let me find somewhere for my children to go. So I took my son, because I had my son and my daughter there. And, you know, LJ doing what he doing best. He's sitting there and tantalizing his sister, pulling her hair and all that. She crying, stop. She trying to fight him. And he laughing and grabbing him. You know how little boys play with their little sisters. She thinking he hurt her, but he ain't. He just, like, making her whine. So I tell him, stop. I said, leave that girl alone. So what I do, I take him over my uncle's house named Randy. Randy Hatcher is my uncle. He's like my daddy. He raised my mom and he raised me. Because my mom died. My mom was 7. And so I took my kids to my uncle's house, and he stayed like a block from the courthouse. and that's where my lawyer, his office is right across the street from the courthouse. All this is in the same area. And so I went over there, and I told him what was going on. I said, look, I'm finna go turn myself in. Please take care of my kids. I got the keys to the house. They need food or clothes. I got everything there. And so...
And while all this is happening, the kids are listening to this conversation?
No, I'm not saying in front of them. They don't hear none of this. So as I get ready to go turn myself in, the attorney went with me. I hopped in his Avalanche with him, and left my truck with my uncle, and he let me turn myself in. So I turned myself in, and they tell me my bed.
You turn yourself in with your attorney.
Yeah.
And there's nothing this attorney can do.
Not until we get a court hearing for them to set me up on.
Okay.
So I go ahead and turn myself in, and so that night I'm sitting in there. Well, that evening, by 6 o'clock news come on, and the 6 o'clock news said, "Man turned himself in and confessed to the murder." I'm like, "What the hell?"
Oh shit!
I'm like, I didn't confess to nothing. I just turned myself in, and so
So what do you think is going on here? You think obviously the police is working with the media?
Yes,
everything is happening in tandem.
Exactly, that's what they doing, and they already told the media that I had confessed and everything. Because what they did, they had because on the news they had came and got me. They had came and got me that same evening and tried to get me and got me and took me to the police station again. And I said, I don't want to talk to y'all. I said, I'm not talking to y'all. I have nothing to say to y'all like that. And they started getting angry with me and say, take his punk ass back to jail. Take him back to the jail like that. He don't want to talk. Take him back to the jail. So they took me back to the jail or whatever. And then when they took me back to the jail that night, the news came on at 10 o'clock. And they changed it. It just say, man accused of killing his baby mama has turned himself in. That's all it said. It don't say that I confess no more. They take that statement out because I wouldn't talk to him. You know. So
but when they came to you, didn't you say that I didn't do it?
Yeah, that was the first time. But see, they tried to talk to me again when I had an attorney. They was trying to get me to confess to somebody and do. And so I wasn't going to do that. I kept telling them, I said, my mom told me don't never confess to nothing else. Don't never confess to nothing else that I know I didn't do. Just to make y'all happy. Just so everybody can be happy. I'm not doing that no more. And they got upset. So.
But at least they had that on record from you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got that on record.
That you said to the media, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
they
didn't report it.
No, they didn't. They only reported what they want them to report. And everything I tell you is backed up with facts and evidence. Anything that I tell you, I can back it up with facts, evidence, paperwork. Yeah. Anything they tell you, they cannot back it up with no facts, no evidence, or no paperwork. The only thing they can back it up with is hearsay.
Some of the media reports did mention that you insisted on your innocence in court.
Yeah. But see, even with that, if you go back to that was when I was found guilty, and that was when you get to say one thing before you the judge opposed the sentence on you. And I kept telling him that I didn't do it, and I prayed to go ahead and find the person that did it so I can go home to my children. And I was actually crying because I was really heartbroken. But the media put it out like that everybody in court saw me crying, but the media put it out and said I wasn't remorseful and nothing about it or nothing. I'm like, wow, who's printing this stuff? Ray Charles saw that, you know?
So, but tell me something. So, how was your relationship with Kimberly? Tell me about that.
We had a relationship. We had like pretty much like an open relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because pretty much we met or whatever, and we was friends first before we was anything, and we was mainly together, you know, because it's like I was young. I was like when I met her, I was like, how old I was? I was when I met her, I was like 24 when I met her, because this was in 2000 and No, I think it was 2004 I met her. 2004, and it was before the hurricane. I had met her, and so I was 23 when I met her. She was 30. She was 30 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was 23 because she was 7 years older than me. And so when we had met at a Blockbuster. Blockbuster was going out of business, starting to go out of business at the time. And so I was in there just trying to buy up a bunch of movies and a bunch of games and stuff so my son can play video games, him and his sister. And so I was up there, I like deals. I like bargain shopping. I like to try to get deals. And I always catch stores when they shutting down or they trying to get rid of stuff, so they put new inventory up. I buy summer clothes in the winter and winter clothes in the summer to get them cheap. And so
before you met Kimberly, you already had these two kids.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And where was their mom?
Sarah's mom was on drugs and stuff. That's how I got custody of her. I got custody of her when she was like 9 months. And because of that, her and her boyfriend, and her grandma told me, you need to get your daughter because he's trying to sick the dog. He's sicking his dog on your daughter and stuff and everything, and he's trying to fool with your daughter. I think he's been tampering with your daughter because every time I try to change her pamper, she said, please don't hurt the baby, don't hurt the baby.
My God.
So that means somebody's messing with her. So DHR got involved in it, and then when DHR got involved in it or whatever, DHR told her either she was going to leave him or they was going to take her. And she said, well, she wasn't going to leave him. Then you can just give her to her daddy. And so I get a call from DHR. And DHR tell me, come pick up my child. So I go pick up my daughter. When I get up there to pick Sarah up, Sarah got on a dirty shirt, real dirty. She's filthy. She's dirty. She got candy stuck on the shirt. She got a pamper that's so wet it's dragging the ground. It got so much urine in it it just soak and wet. So, so I had to do right then, go buy some more Pampers and get her some new clothes. And
hey, that's cool, man. You're doing a good being a good dad. But how were you surviving? What was your work?
Oh, I sold cars. I bought cars from the police auction, and I sold cars and stuff. And I worked shutdowns. Mm-hmm. And when I work shutdowns, I probably get paid like on a shutdown $25 an hour, and we work 7 12-hour shifts. Where in overtime I make $37.50 an hour, to the point that when I do that for like 3 to 6 months, I don't pretty much work nothing but 3 to 6 months a year doing that, back to back, because I have enough money saved up where I can go buy cars, because cars only cost $25 at the auction. They start off at $25, and if nobody bet against you, you can get a car for $25. I don't care if it's a 2020 Escalade. If nobody bet against you, you can get that new Escalade for $25. Wow. They just want to get rid of it. And so, actually, I tell you a true story. I bought a police cruiser for $225 because the girl that bet it, she only had $200, and I said $225, and she couldn't bet no more, and so I won the bet, and I got the car, and it had a good motor in it and everything, and so what I do, I buy cars like that, I get them serviced. Cool. If something wrong with it, I put a new part on it, and then that part have maybe like a lifetime warranty. Could be brand new, and I give somebody a lifetime warranty on it. So people always buy cars from me because I'm fair. If something wrong, I tell them. And if something wrong, I try to fix it. So I had a lot of people buying cars from me. So I did good. I did real good.
This is FairPlay on justicenews.net.
So you got your kids from your former wife. And that's when you...
No, actually, Sarah's mom, she wasn't my wife. My son's mom was my wife.
Okay.
And, And when it didn't work out between me and her, because we...
Your son and your daughter are from two different women, right?
Right.
Okay, got it.
And my son's mom that died, that's a different woman, too.
Your son, Xayvion, right?
Yeah, Xayvion. His mother, the one passed away.
Yeah, Kimberly.
Yeah.
And the son that you have, your son and daughter that you have, your son's mom was on drugs, right?
Right. That's Stephanie. Stephanie was Sarah Lee mom. Yeah, that was on drugs. My daughter named Sarah Lee.
What about your son's mom?
My son's mom, that was my wife. Her name was Andrea. We was married.
Okay.
But yeah, we was going through a divorce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And so, cause I had caught her in the movies with somebody, so we was going through a divorce.
Oh, okay. How did your relationship start with Kimberly?
And it started after we had met up in the
Blockbuster.
The Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And after we met there, she gave me her number. She said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she started talking to me. She told me I was handsome and cute and everything, and she'd like to get to know me. And so I said, "Okay." I said, "I'd like to get to know you too." So we started talking on the phone, and then she noticed something about me. She noticed that I got an old soul, that I like listen to music and old music and stuff. And so as we would listen to old music and stuff, like I would listen to stuff like Luther Vandross, Isaac Brothers, and Teddy Pendergrass, and she liked the type of music I would listen to. And so she said, "You got a whole soul." I said, "Yeah, I was raised by a lady that was born in 1925, which was my great aunt or whatever." And so as we bonded with the music and everything, and so now we started seeing each other. So I started coming over, and I started seeing her, and you know, she liked me because I think I had started coming over there like 2 weeks or whatever, and not one time I mentioned anything about having sex with her. Not one time I tried to come on to her, nothing. And she found that to be attracting, that I wouldn't like. She said I wouldn't like other men.
Yeah, you were like a gentleman.
So, yeah.
What year was that?
And that was the same year. That was like in 2000. That's like 2004.
So
and so you know,
so in 2004 you met her. When did you guys move in?
Probably like in 2000 and I'm gonna say 2000 and the end of 2005.
What happened next?
Ever since then, you know, we just started hanging out and going to the parks together with the children and everything. And I told her when I saw her again, she said, "What you think about being in a relationship?" I said, "Well, really, I don't want to be in a relationship because I said I'm going through a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in too many relationships that I keep getting hurt from, you know." I said, because I keep meeting women that are married and not telling me that they are married. And then I found out that they married, but they got a husband at home and they want to tell me what to do and what I can't do. Try to control me, and they got a husband at home. And I said, I just don't been through so much. From my past, I felt like it was just something I wasn't doing right because I was getting in these relationships and I wasn't getting to know people and I was just jumping in them. Because I didn't want to, because I was, I don't know if I was vulnerable. I don't know what I was, but I just know they just wasn't working out because I wasn't compatible with the people that I was with. And then because I wasn't compatible with them, it's like I wasn't looking at that. The only thing I care about, you know, what little high school kids be in that honeymoon stage and just the fact knowing that you got a girlfriend or you talking to somebody, you just happy that you get the butterflies from all that, and you really don't get to know that person. So therefore, you got to find out if they compatible with you, and you know, when you don't find that out, in the end, that's why the divorce rate is very high, because people get in that puppy love stage and don't see if they compatible with each other. Do we have the same family values? You know, you got to check out that. Can we stay together? You know, what do you like and what do I don't like? You know, that'd be the main thing that you have to check, because a lot of men act like they love you just to get sex, and a lot of women have sex with men just so they can get love. So when you got a man trying to get love just to get sex, and you got a female just trying to get sex just to get love, it don't never work out, because both of y'all looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
and so that's not love. That is called lust.
Exactly.
And because it could be vice versa. It could be the woman looking for that. You know. So I'm not gonna just throw it on the man like that. But because of that, you know, that's why I was in the situation that I was in. You know, kept getting in all these relationships, and then you know a lot of women just liked me and either wanted a baby by me or something like that. You know. And so after getting in these relationships like that, I told Kim that, you know, we can be friends or whatever, you know. And we was friends. We was good friends. And I don't never initiate it. She always initiated, you know.
Yeah. So basically, you knew her for about 5 years before she died.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because when she died, she was 36.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's true. The 5 years that we was together, you know, because I'm gonna be honest, you know, and it's sometimes that we call ourselves as a couple or whatever, and we was together, but it was like an open relationship because she had a dude that she always talked to. She told me his name was Waddell, and he stayed in a part called Irvin, Alabama, which is by Elmo. He stayed in Elmo. That's what it was. And she said that was her sugar daddy. She said he give her money and all kind of stuff. I said, oh, okay. And she said, oh, you ain't mad? I said, no, I'm not mad. I said, I can't control you. I said, you're not a robot. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't tell nobody what to do. You're not a robot. I said, you make your own choices. Now, I can give you my opinion if I feel like, well, I don't think you should do that, whatever, but I don't control nobody because I don't want nobody controlling me.
So, this gentleman is not from the same town where you guys are, right?
It's near because it's like it's still a part of Mobile because it's the outskirts of Mobile. It's in the country part because if you do anything up where he's from, you still go to jail in Mobile.
So she was still in 2010. She was still seeing that guy.
Yeah, she still was.
She was still seeing that guy.
And you know she was still seeing him, and she talked to other people she was on a dating site, and she used to me being on dating sites or whatever, and they used to send her money and stuff and all that, and she used to get money out of them, and she told me that she go on them sites to meet men, and you know, she sent them pictures and stuff, and they send her money, you know, and like I said, I don't never try to tell no female what to do or nothing because I like to see where you at, and I want you to be comfortable with what you do because I don't want you to do it behind my back. So if I tell you I don't like or whatever, I know you're gonna do it behind my back. So I'd rather for you to do it in my face or behind my back. And that's the same thing with my kids. Today, I be a friend to my kids, but I be a father too. But I don't make it where my kids won't come to me about something. Because if you make it where a child won't come to you, they'll start doing things behind your back, smoking, doing drugs, having sex. They'll do it all behind your back because you got them scared to tell you. So I be a father friend to my kids where they can come to me and tell me things.
Yeah.
I don't want to push them away where they have to sneak and do stuff behind my back. I don't want that. And that's the same way in my relationships. I don't want people to feel like they have to do that behind my back because they don't want to hurt my feelings.
So how did Xayvion come into the picture?
Well, when she got pregnant by him in 05. And when she got pregnant by Xayvion, or whatever, we wasn't together or whatever. So I wasn't there for his birthday or anything because I didn't even know that she had him or whatever because we wasn't together or anything. And if I would have knew, I would have been there. But she didn't tell me because I guess we wasn't together or whatever. And I don't know if she went back. I think she started call herself, I think, talking back to the police officer again. And so when all that was going on, finally, you know what I'm saying, I started dating somebody else or whatever, and then finally we got back up. And we got back up because I met her cousin. And her cousin told me, well, she had the baby. I said, she did? I said, why she didn't say nothing to tell me? He said, I don't know, man, but I'm letting you know. You can call or whatever. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go by. And see, her mother never liked me. never liked me because her mama wanted her to be with this man named Dre that she had met in the Air Force. Well, he was in the Army, and she liked him. And so when I had came and saw everything or whatever, and we started bonding more now because of him. You know what I'm saying? It's something about a child that it'll kind of bring you close. You know, if it already ain't a bad relationship, it'll bring you more closer. So it kind of brought us close because, you know, she knew I was a good father, and I took care of him. I bought him everything he needed or whatever. And so what she did was she put me on a birth certificate. So when she put me on a birth certificate or whatever, then I said, her mom started saying, well, I don't want him to come over here. I don't like him. And so she said, well, that's fine. I just move in with him. So I told her, I said, okay, well, you can move in. It's fine. You know, that'll let me be able to see him. So she moved in with me, and she started staying with me and everything. So as she started staying with me, I was helping her get her own house and everything. And we was in the process of doing that. And I said, look, I'm going to help you get your own place. I said, where you want to stay at? She said, well, I said, you want to stay out there in West Mobile, where your mom at, or you want to stay here? You want to stay on Dolphin Island? Because I stayed on Dolphin Island Parkway. That's by Dolphin Island, which is by the Gulf of Mexico. We surrounded by water. It's the island. And so I said, you want to stay on the island? She said, well, I want to stay up here. I want to stay up here because she said, my mama always trying to control me and tell me what to do. And I'd rather stay up here by you because my mama don't respect me. And she said ever since my mama uncle brother Chris had raped me when I was little, I was like 8 years old, and she used to take me over my grandma's house every day. And he used to rape me every day that she'd take me over there. And he used to take me in the bathroom. And he'll lock the top latch on the door. It's way at the top. You know, back in the days, they had like a little lock at the top. And she said I was too small to reach it. And he used to take me in there and rape me every day. And so one day I told my mama what he did to me. And my mama slapped me in my face and told me don't never say that about her brother. And stop lying on her brother. And so she said I just went up into this shell. Now she telling me this is like the night before it happened. She's sitting here telling me this the night before all this happened. She telling me that
So this was December 13th.
The 14th, December 14th.
On December 14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now she told me the story when she told me other stories when she was living with me. But she told me this story here. She gave me, you know how people go in details about something. She started actually going into details. Now, when she was living with me, she was just, beating around, just saying, I don't trust him, this and my uncle's coming over and you got to watch him because I don't want him to do your daughter what he did to me. It was just stuff like that, But, when she was living. But when I helped her get her own house up the street, that night before the murder, she started going into detail. She started telling me all kind of stuff. She said, she said, and my uncle used to always rape me and everything. And when I told my mom, she slapped me and told me don't be lying on her brother like that. And so I went up into a shell. I just stopped talking. So she tried to buy me a cat so I can talk or whatever, but I just wasn't talking that much.
Damn.
And I said, wow. Then she said, so then when I went, she said, then when I went to stay in Atlanta with my auntie, which is my mom's sister, went up there to stay, and her husband used to come in the room at night and put his hand down my pants and feel on me.
Shit, man, what the fuck?
I like, wow, she telling me all this. And she said, yeah, and we was just talking about everything. I said, oh wow. And she said,
what kind of mental torture do men put the women in?
I just feel like that. You know, I mean, her mom could have.
She was a devastated soul, man.
Yeah, she was, and she told me that. I was always, and that's what she liked about me, because I never forced sex on her, and I never tried to force her to do anything, and that's what she liked about me, because no man ever did that.
Yeah.
She always felt like she was entitled, and she said that's what.
And you know, I'd like to remind our listeners here that this is not an attempt to hurt someone or discredit someone who's passed away, who's not here to defend herself.
Right.
This is to bring the truth about who did that to her, whatever that happened.
Right.
And that is not possible without going into the details about everything.
Right.
So you guys lived together for how long before you split?
1 year with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
3 with me, and one up in her own house, because when 2009 she moved into her own house in 2009. Okay, then when 2010 came, she had a choice to sign another lease or to leave, and so she could have got another house, because she was on Section 8. She could have got another house up in West Mobile, but she didn't want to do that. She wanted to stay around me, so she went ahead and signed another lease in November to stay there. And all that is on record, that she signed another lease. And then in December of 2010, she went and got a Sam's card with me and her name on it, so we can go grocery shop or whatever. And that's another indication showing that, you know,
you are in good relationship with her.
Yeah, but everybody else saying she didn't want to be with me, she didn't want to have anything to do with me, but that wasn't true, because I got facts and evidence showing that.
Yeah, I mean, the night before she died, she told you one of the biggest secrets of her life.
Yeah, and then she also told me that the man that's supposed to be her baby daddy, that she just found out. This is so crazy. She just had found out the dude named Vincent that she was messing around with was her baby daddy. And
that's Xayvion's daddy?
No, not Xayvion daddy, but her daughter, Tierney. And he didn't want to take a blood test. So when he went to jail, she said, "Well, he got to take it now. They're gonna get his blood test now." He got upset because he didn't want to take the blood test and get put on child support, from what she told me. So now she said, "Yeah, now I'm finna put her on child support, because now I know who my daughter's father was." Because she didn't know who her baby daddy was. She didn't know if it was Vincent, or she didn't know if it was a dude named Trevor. But the dude named Trevor was light-skinned with green eyes. Vincent was dark, and her daughter was dark. And so she said when she did the test for Vincent, she found out that that was her daughter's dad. So she called Trevor and let him know that you ain't the dad. So she said, "Oh man, Vince is my baby daddy. That's crazy, because my cousin was sleeping with him too, and that's my cousin. I know that my cousin's daughter and my daughter's sisters now, because they look just alike. And she was sleeping with him too."
Damn.
And she said,
"What the fuck, man? Everyone's sleeping with each other?"
I mean, you know, that was her past, you know, before I even met her. You know, that's when she was that was her high school days, you know. I didn't know her. Like I said, it's a big age difference.
Mm.
You know, she's 30 and I'm 20. Yeah. I'm 23. Finna be 24, and she finna be 31.
How did you know that Xayvion is your son?
Well, it's like this. It's like when I take care of a child, regardless if they are whether they is or not, if I take care of a child, they mine. They don't got to be biological mine or whatever, but they mine. That's how I look at it. If I take care of a child, they mine.
I understand that, but
yeah.
But do you have any evidence that this is your child?
I mean, I didn't do no blood test or nothing. I just felt, you know, that he was mine. So. Did
she tell you?
Well, she told me. She said he was mine. You know.
She said it.
But you know, yeah.
Even though you weren't with her for a long period of time.
Right. So you know, I didn't do no background check. I didn't check nothing. You know, because my thing is, and you know, people may think I'm wrong for saying this, but my thing is, because how I was treated as a child, how, you know, I wasn't sexually abused, but I was abused when I was a child, you know, and how I used to get beat on and stuff. when I was a child or whatever, I feel like that I owe it to every child that I come in contact with to make sure they don't go through what I went through, to make sure they get a good life.
Oh, man, welcome to the club, man. I was beat up a lot, too, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, and that's what I did because I was abused just because you're not my dad, I'm going to abuse you. And then I'm going to mentally abuse you and I'm going to physically abuse you because you're not mine. So by going through that, I just feel like that if each child I can save or each child I can come across and I can love, I was going to do that. And so a relationship gave me that opportunity to do that, to show that child, hey, I can show you that a stepdad is a good dad. Just because you're not mine by blood, you ain't going to even know the difference. You don't think I'm really your dad, how I'm going to treat you. And that's just how I was. That's why right now, my kids out there, they all love me because they know one thing, that I was that good dad. I show unconditional love. I was the type of dad that when a child was born or whatever, when they get like 1 or 2 months old, if I put them down, they'll scream. If they mama pick them up, they'll scream. If they come out my arm, they'll scream. They want me. They sense me. They can smell me. Because even when they was in the womb, I would talk to them. I would say their ABCs. I would read to them while they were still in the stomach. I would talk to them.
That's cool.
Have conversations with them, and that's what I did. So they knew me.
But Leonard, tell me something. Did you kill Kimberly Mixon?
No, I didn't do that. I would never do nothing like that. Never.
Who do you think did it?
Well, from what I think, I know Moses Butler did it. That's who I feel like did it because he wanted so bad because he had already threatened me. He had threatened her, and I know for a fact that I feel like that he did it because all the threats that he had made, all the attempts that he had made.
So, what was his beef with you?
Well, the beef with me and him was one night I was going to the gas station to get some gas in my car because I was going to get some Pampers and stuff. Because I was going to get some Pampers because my baby mother was coming over to get everything I had for her, and I was going to get some, make sure when I buy for one child, I buy for them all. So I was getting ready to buy for all the children. And so I was going heading to Walmart, but I was trying to get gas in my truck. And so he saw me, and he knew how to reel me in. So what he did was when I put, how stores lock down like after 12 o'clock, and you have to go to the booth. And so they went to the booth or whatever. I had to go to the booth and put my money in there, and they spin it around and take it out. So I went to the pump, and I'm sitting there waiting. And the gas pump never come on. So I go back and I asked the lady, I said, why you ain't turn on the pump? I'm trying to get some gas. She said, some dude said he your friend. He got your money. He gone. There you go, the car right there. And he was pulling off. So I went behind him. So as I went behind him, I followed him up to the next gas station. And when I followed him up to the next gas station or whatever, he got out the car or whatever. He was going into that gas station. And I said, hey, man, give me my money back, man. That woman told me you took my money. I need my money back. I need gas for my car. I want my money. And he was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I know what I'm talking about because she just told me you got my money. And he said, man, I don't got nothing. So it was like a white dude in the front, and it was like a white female, and they was telling him, he's mixed. And they was telling him, they said, man, just give him his money back. Just give him his money. He already know you guys money. Just give him his money. Let's go. We ain't got time for this. We ain't got time for this junk. We ain't got time for your junk. You always doing this stupid stuff. Leave people alone. Get the man his money back. And cause he always on some grimy, shiesty type of stuff. That's what he did. He like to rob people, and he like people to give him a reason so he can shoot them or whatever. But so they said they pulled off and left him. They said, look, we ain't got time. They pulled off and left him. So he got mad. He punched me in my face. He said, see what you did? And he punched me in my face. So when he was hitting me, and I was trying to get myself together. So I pulled his shirt over his face. When I pulled his shirt over his face, I twisted it because I worked on a military base called Keith Air Force Base, and I did ACAR security. So I had hand-to-hand combat training. So I pulled his shirt off his face, twisted, and I started hitting him in the face or whatever. And finally I dropped him, and he hit the ground, and I hit him while he was on the ground. So finally, and this lady had saw us fighting, and she started screaming. And she went over there to the gas station. She pulled out of the gas station and went over across the street, which was a grocery store called Food World. And she sat over there and called the police from there. So I jumped in my car and tried to get ready to leave. And he jumped in the car with me. He jumped in my lap like.
Yeah.
And when he jumped in my lap, my seat was kind of reclined back a little bit. So now he got his knee in my stomach. And he just hammering, he welling on me, just hitting me in my face. So I reached in my glove compartment and opened it up and grabbed my gun. And I grabbed my gun like that, and somehow he took my gun from me. He rifled my gun, took it out of my hand, and he started trying to shoot me with my own gun. He's sitting there squeezing the trigger, trying to kill me with my own gun. But what he didn't know, it was on safety, and it wasn't cocked. And I couldn't cock it because, like I said, he had his knee in my stomach, and my left arm couldn't get around there.
Mm.
And I only had one arm free, which was the right arm, which was going to the passenger side in the glove compartment. So then he's still shooting the gun. He got it to my heart, just squeezing the trigger, just snapping, but nothing coming out, no bullets in it. And I said to him while he was trying to do it, I said, ain't no bullets in it like that. And so I kind of leaned up and hit him with an elbow and knocked him out the car. And so I grabbed the gun. When he fell out the car, I grabbed the gun, and I pulled the shirt back over his face again, twisted, and started hitting him with the gun, like that.
Mm.
So he'll get away from me.
Mm.
And so he had dropped his knife and everything because he had a knife on him. He dropped it or whatever. And so when he did that or whatever, he tried to he picked it up like that. He picked up the knife, and I had the gun or whatever, and then he pointed at me like that and started walking backwards, and he just took off running. So I let him go, and I got in my car.
What the?
Yeah.
Did you know this guy?
Yeah, I knew him. That's the sad thing about it. I knew him.
How did you know him?
Well, I knew him like from like 5 years earlier. I knew him because we used to hang out with the same friends, and I used to come visit them friends or whatever. This girl named Kiki, I used to always go see. He used to always come over there. And, he used to like Kiki, but Kiki liked me or whatever. And she used to always tell him like, well, you know what I'm saying? I like him. He got money. He got his shit together. He got money. He take care of his kids. She used to tell him that. That's what I like, a man take care of kids, not a man out there robbing people and selling drugs.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody like that. I want a man that works for a living and take care of his kids. So, and then every time he saw me, I was like up in a different car because I sold cars, but he didn't know that. He thought I was just riding different cars because I had a lot of money. So he was telling his friends and stuff that he was gonna rob me and take care of everything I got. So that was what he supposed to been doing or whatever, but it went the other way. It didn't go the way he wanted. And so like I said, after he took off running with the knife or whatever, the money was on the ground. And so
how much money was that?
Actually, it was crazy. It was my 20.
It was $20.
No, it was more than 20. It was like $1,000
for the gas money.
Yeah, it was like 1,020. It was my.
No, but why would you put $1,000 for the gas at the counter? No.
I'm saying it was my $20 in it. It was my 20, and it was like 10 $100 bills.
That was your wallet. He took your wallet?
No. When I put my $20 up in the thing to pay for my gas,
yeah,
he came and told the lady that he didn't want the gas. Give me the money back. My friend don't want the gas. We're going to another gas station.
Yeah.
So what he did was he put my money with his money.
Oh, so he already had a couple of $100.
He already had. Had money.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you, this wasn't about no money. This was about something else.
Yeah. So this was about. He was jumping on.
He was trying to get my attention to get me to follow him. He was trying to get me to follow him to where he was trying to take me into a trap. But the people in the car with him wasn't with that. They said, why you trying to bring us into something that we ain't got nothing? You know we don't do that.
Yeah.
And so it didn't go the way he wanted to go.
Okay.
And so when I got ready to leave, the police had surrounded me or whatever. And I told them what happened. And it was blood all in my car. I was my blood everywhere. I still got the car today. I got the car preserved at my mama's house just in case they have to do DNA test on the car. It still got all his blood in there and everything. All in the ceiling and everywhere. I still kept it just for that reason. And that's been, That's been 11 years ago, and I still got the car. It's just put up. It don't run or nothing, but it's put up just in case. And so, because I knew this may come back up. And so, then the police, they investigated what was going on. They went from that gas station back to that gas station trying to investigate what happened. Who's telling the truth and what went on. And so everybody was telling the two gas stations was agreeing with me. They started lining up with mine. Oh yeah, that dude had took his money. Yeah, I saw him come here. The other gas station said, oh yeah, I saw the man come here, ask for his money. Then the dude attacked the man for no reason. The man said, yeah, he attacked the man for no reason. I saw that. It was a Jamaican trying to tell him what was going on. And so they said, well, from the looks of it, we're just looking at the dude. No, he's beat up pretty badly. They said, I know, but he attacked that man, though. That's what they were telling him. They said, well, so they went looking for him. They said, where did he go? I said, he ran that way. I said, if you go now, you can catch him, but he ran that way. So they sent 2 patrol cars to go find him. Then they found him. So, they brought him back and put him on a gurney. They said, you're going to have to go to the hospital because you need stitches. And so they got rid of checking his wounds and everything, and all of a sudden a police cruiser came and they let him, they you know how they got the yellow tape roped off?
Yeah.
Okay, so the yellow tape roped off and everything, and so they let this Crown Vic through there. I already know because that Crown Vic, that's my car. I bought that from the police auction. But they not knowing that. They thinking this is actually a detective coming to the scene. But it's actually my 2 baby mamas up in, they together. And so they step out the car, tell me what's going on. Kim and my baby mama named Antronice, like, man, what's going on? What's going on? They're both trying to find out what's going on. And they see him bleeding. They see blood all over me. They said, what happened? What happened? And I said, man, dude tried to steal my money, whatever, and jump on me and take what else I had. And we got into a fight, and I had to defend myself. And then he started talking about me, yeah, I'm going to get you. Don't think it's over yet. I didn't want to get you anyway. He said, damn sure enough going to get you now. You going to get it. Then my baby mama got mad because he kept sending all them threats. She said, hell, you don't need to be trying to get nobody. He already just whipped your ass one time. You shouldn't even want no more of him. My baby daddy already whipped your ass. He said, that's all right. I'm going to get him, and I'm going to get your ass too. I'm going to get both of you. I'm going to show y'all. Y'all don't know who I am. Y'all don't know who y'all messing with. And just start screaming that as they was putting them in the ambulance, and they started shutting the door. They shut the door to the ambulance and took them on.
You're listening to FairPlay on JusticeNews.net.
So this Moses guy, the threat that Moses made against you and Kimberly, what is the difference of the time between that day and the day she died?
Let me see, because I think that happened like around March, and I think she died like in December.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. You waited 9 months to do this?
Who, him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because and see, he tried to do it before then, but my neighbors had stopped him because he was hanging out with my neighbor, and see, I didn't know that he had bought a black truck or whatever, and I never seen the truck before, but see, I didn't even know until the neighbor had told me. He like, man, the man was pointing a gun at you while you was playing outside with your children and your old lady, and I told him, I said, man, no, don't do that, man. Not in my neighborhood, don't do that. Not with me. Respect me.
Shit. And you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know until the neighbor told me.
And the neighbor, when did the neighbor tell you?
He had told me later on. Yeah, he had told me. And then when he told me that, I was like, wow, all right, man.
Oh, but why didn't you report it to the cops?
I mean, because they said you couldn't do a double what they call, cause see what it was, the police had signed a one on me for beating him up. And they said because they look at it that I got the best in him, he got to get 74 staples in his head because of me. They said, but they're not gonna press charges if he don't press charges. But the paperwork is already did where he can just go ahead and press charges because they don't rung it up because they looked at the fact that even though he did what he did, look what I did to him. So they said, but we're not gonna lock you up. It's up to him if he want to try to pursue the charge. But because he did that, you can't do no cross charges on nobody. Like if somebody gonna do that to you, you can't come back and do that to them. They don't let you do that.
Yeah, I understand that. But the problem is that this guy is pointing a gun at you and your family.
Yeah.
While you don't know. I mean, you got to report that, right?
Well, actually, I talked to my friend that there was a police officer that I told you about that I used to babysit his kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And I asked him about it and what should I do or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? And that's when he was telling me that well, you know, because this been charged on you or whatever. But he said, man, just watch yourself, protect yourself, you know, because keep your guns on you, because you know I got guns registered in my name. So
yeah, but do you have
me, you know what I'm saying?
But you have a witness that you spoke to about this. There is a witness there.
Right.
And what about and the biggest witness is your neighbor.
Right.
Exactly. Is that the same neighbor who saw you that morning outside clearing? That's another neighbor.
No, this is another neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this here was another neighbor.
So why didn't this neighbor come forward as a witness?
He did. If you look in the paperwork, like I said, everything I say is documented and it's facts and evidence. Mm-hmm. But if you look in the paperwork, it'll show that he's telling the whole story and it's documented.
So why didn't the jury look at that there was a guy already threatening you since 9 months? You beat him up. He was obviously pissed off at you, and he wanted to take his revenge. Why didn't the jury look at that?
Actually, you know, like I said, when the neighbor told me whatever, I really didn't take it serious. Where I felt like that that I can defend my own self, because I felt like that, you know, with the training I had or whatever, if he did try to come at me, you know, I just felt like that I can defend myself, because when I tried to go to the police, they don't want you to sign cross warrants because they thinking you trying to do that, because that's what they feel like people do. Like, you sign a warrant on me, I'm gonna go sign one back on you, and so they don't let you do that. So I feel like, well, I'm not worried about it, because I have guns and I feel like I'm gonna protect myself. All my stuff is registered in my name, and I can keep it on me.
That police officer who interrogated you and he said that you did it, did he know about Moses?
Yeah, it's in the transcript. All that's in the transcript. I mentioned it.
Was Moses brought in as a witness?
No, because they told me they don't believe that. They think I did it. So they said they know they got the guy.
Where was the location? What was the location of Moses on that day and during that time?
He stayed like maybe 8 blocks away. Eight blocks away.
So he was in that area.
Yeah. That's his area too, which I didn't know it at the time, but that's his area too.
Okay, so I mean, he should be questioned about his whereabouts at that time.
Well, they said they already had who they wanted. That's what they told me. They said they didn't. The detective said that in court. They said, "Did you search for anybody else or try to look for anybody?" He said, "No." They said, "Why not?" Because we felt like we had the guy. We didn't have to.
How do they know they have the guy? Because Xayvion said so.
Yeah, they said because of that. That's how they know they got the guy. They said they didn't have to do no more investigating.
Who interviewed Xayvion?
The one that used to date my baby mama, Charles Basby, him.
So where is the testimony of Xayvion?
They have it, but the crazy thing about it, when you read the transcripts, it says the judge and the people listen to it say, well, that ain't what he's saying on the tape. They said he's not saying that daddy shot mama. He's saying that mommy and daddy got shot. She said that's why I hear on there daddy and mama got shot. Then he said daddy's gone, mommy's gone. he's saying I got shot too. And even with him saying that I got shot and I ain't never been shot in my life.
Yeah.
So he's really parroting back what they saying. And then on the whole thing, everything they asking him, he's saying, yeah. They say, so what happened? They say, your daddy shot your mama? Yeah. Where he shot at? Yeah. Where he was driving in? Yeah. Was he in the truck? Yeah. In a truck? Yeah. Was the truck red? Yeah. Is he gone? Yeah. Did you go to school today? Yeah. He's just saying yeah to everything. He didn't even go to school that day. He's just agreeing to stuff that don't even take a yeah. But he's still saying yeah. Some stuff it don't even take. You don't say yeah to that. Like
that was recorded stuff.
Yeah, it's in the transcript, and he just saying yeah to everything. They just coaching him, and he just saying yeah. And this is proof and evidence.
Yeah.
This is on the transcript. Anybody can see this.
Mm. I mean, for me, it's really painful to just imagine what Xayvion as a kid must have witnessed.
Right.
Because you and I can't even begin to imagine that this kid was there when his mother was shot.
Right.
And
but this the crazy thing, this the twist. Was he there? Do we know he saw anything? Because you got people testifying saying when they got there, he was not crying, he was not nothing. He was in the room the whole time playing a video game. So they was like, well, he was too calm, and he was just playing a video game because they got there.
So you're saying that somebody shot her and he didn't even know?
I'm thinking that because even the lawyer and even the psychologist was saying he was too calm. He was playing a video game. He didn't show no kind of concerns like he was upset. Only from when the phone call was when they had the perpetrator Moses say daddy did it or whatever. When he told him to say that, say daddy killed mommy, and he said it, and then even she testified that somebody took the phone and hung it up. Then he called his sister and said, mommy dead, she gone. Then the sister said somebody snatched the phone and hung it up. So two people saying that somebody took the phone and hung it up. And then they said he don't know. Then they testified and say, well, do he know how to dial numbers? No, he don't know how to dial numbers. So if somebody calling other people and he's saying this, it had to been somebody dialing numbers because he can't even count to 3, much less dial a 10-digit phone number.
Mm.
There's no way he can do that.
So what you're saying is that the person who did it stayed back and dialed these numbers and made your son say that daddy did it?
Yes.
And who did he dial?
He dialed his sister's phone number, and the grandma said that she called and she talked to him or whatever. Somebody.
Yes, but the grandma said that she called, not that somebody called her.
Well, yeah, it says that it says in the well, she said that she called him, but then it come back and then the daughter said that he called her. So if you look at that in the transcript, it's saying both of that. It's saying that he called the grandma said she called him. So I don't know the correct story, but
wow.
I don't know which one to go with because I can point both of that out to you in that the daughter saying that he called his grandma, then the grandma saying that well he called me, then I called him first, and I couldn't never lay that because in the transcripts it's saying this, and I can point it out to you where the page at and everything. So
this case is all over the place, man.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, but one thing I know for a fact that the daughter never changed her statement. She said that he called her. But the only thing he said was, mommy gone, she's dead, she gone. That's it. He don't say daddy did or nothing. Then she said it got quiet when he said it, and somebody snatched the phone from him and hung it up.
Ooh.
So whoever doing this, calling and doing this, I could never put my mind on it. And then, because they saying this in court, well, who could have did it? Well, we don't know because he don't know how to dial numbers. This is what she's saying. He don't know how to do that.
So that's...
But let's just think... Go ahead.
You go ahead first.
Just think for a moment. Let's just say, okay, if I was in there or whatever, let's just say for a moment, why would I go call these people and tell them that I did it?
Why would you trap yourself?
Right. Why would I trap myself?
This sounds like somebody putting a trap for you.
Right. So check this out, though. Now let's look at this, though. Now, if I want to get somebody to go down for something, I would do that. Somebody would do that. They would call and say, "Yeah, he did that. Such and such didn't say that," and the child would say that.
Yeah.
And then when he say that, then that's what they're gonna go off of whatever lead they got.
Yeah.
And then when they can't find another lead, they're gonna use that, and they want the case to be over with. They want closure. So you're gonna be the person to go down.
They're looking for conviction. They're not looking for the truth.
Right. And so then it took 10 long years later, that I've been sitting up in prison for a crime I didn't do, praying to God that somebody would come forward, praying to God that it be some leeway in the case. The same thing I said at the trial. I said, I just prayed that y'all find out who did this so I can go back to my life and go home to my children. Because I was snatched. I was a single father. I had bought my own house, and I was taking care of my children. I had a good life. I was selling cars. My kids didn't want for nothing. My kids didn't even know what Christmas was. Christmas was just another day for them because my babies were spoiled. I love my babies. I gave them a life that I never had. And I'm going to throw all that away? And if you look at me, I'm very handsome from what everybody say. So I can have any female I want, and I got any female I wanted. So it's no way that I would throw my whole life away for no reason. That ain't my MO. And anybody tell you that I ever dated, or anybody ever tell you that I got a child, but I tell you that's not his MO. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be with him, he don't care. He's not gonna worry about it. He's gonna move on quick.
Did you and Kimberly have a fight recently?
No, we didn't. We hadn't had no fight recently. We didn't have no fight.
Because the thing is that the way she was shot, that looks pretty brutal.
Yeah.
That looks like somebody's pretty angry.
Yeah, exactly. And see, and that goes back to what was said at the scene of that crime. So much anger, wanting to get me, and I wasn't there. From that morning where he followed me, and I wasn't there. You know, I wish that I was at the right place at the right time, and I actually wish that it was me instead of her, because I feel like that I wouldn't want nothing to happen to her, because I know how a child needs his mom, and I would have been okay.
I don't think this was an intent to kill you or hurt you. This was an intent to torture you.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I have to live with it.
Yeah, and then and then somebody can stand on top of your head and say, "See, I got you. Screw you."
Yeah. And it's so funny because you don't even know nothing about the case, and that's exactly what happened. Because I found out in 2020, which was just last year, October the 26th, that people came forward and said exactly what you were saying. All this was to get me back. I was supposed to live with the hurt and pain.
So what happened to Moses?
Well, what Moses did was he confessed to his god brother and his best friend that he said, I took care of him. He said, he told his best friend, I took care of him. He ain't got to worry about him no more. I got him up out of here. And he's telling him that. And he was telling William that, you know what I'm saying? He said, man, he said, he told him that he set me up. He said, I set him up. When I killed his baby mama, he said, I made the child say that Daddy did it. And I called numbers and put him on the phone and them say, Daddy did it, so I can lead to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he admitted to coercing. But then he started feeling bad about it as time went on. You know, after he told him that, he felt bad about it because he was saying that that when he did that or whatever and coerced him to say that whatever, he felt bad. He started feeling bad about it because he started getting on drugs. And then another person that he had supposed to have killed, that somebody was saying that he had killed another man 3 years later. And he took himself out. You know, he told his god brother that, you know what I'm saying, how he felt bad about what he had did or whatever. And then he killed himself, like 2 or 3 days later, he killed himself behind it.
How did he kill himself?
He hung himself.
Yeah, so these are all evidences pointing towards guilt.
Yeah.
Because, you know, killing someone and living with that, it's a pretty heavy thing to bear with.
Yeah.
These witnesses that were brought in your case that came forward, now the courts are saying that this is hearsay.
Right.
But hearsay is what they convicted you on.
That's what they convicted me on, hearsay. Exactly.
And now when these witnesses are coming forward, they don't want to retry the case?
Exactly. Correct.
So tell me something. On the day Kimberly was shot and killed, in the morning you were going out to drop your kids, and you had a truck following you. You think that truck belonged to Moses?
Yeah, I do. But
you didn't see him.
I didn't know the truck that belonged to him then, but I knew it later on. And we can get that.
It was confirmed.
Yeah, it was confirmed later.
Yeah, so these witnesses can't be ignored because there's so much of evidence pointing towards Moses that, you know, these witnesses are key, because the guy rammed you from behind.
Right.
Somebody was after you on that day.
Yeah.
And then you tried to run away.
Yeah, I was trying to get away from him and go through different roads and stuff.
But why did you do that? Why didn't you call 911 or pull over? Something like that.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type, because where I stay at, I don't really put the police in my business or whatever, because I don't try to call them or put them in the business like that, because when you consider as a snitch in a black community or whatever,
yeah,
nobody like you. You know what I'm saying? They call you snitches, and you know then when rappers and stuff start coming out with this thing called snitches get stitches, and people will hurt you if they find out that you putting the police or calling the police or whatever, and it's dangerous. You know, I mean, I only know black communities that you know that do that, but you know, some people feel like, you know, they're not. When I see a lot of white communities or other communities, they look at it as they just doing their job. They just doing their security work, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. But it's like with my race, that ain't how it go. If you call the police and put them in your business, it's like you now I got bigger problems. Now I got all the drug dealers, and I got everybody want to hurt me now because they feel like. Yeah.
That you're a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the question is that somebody's trying to hurt you from the behind, man.
Yeah.
Even then, you're not going to ask for it. Because, you see, the reason why I say that, because that adds also to the evidence that this guy,
yeah,
you know, if there was one 911 call, it would just lock the case, you know?
Yeah.
But I also understand what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
About the whole snitch idea. But the thing is that, so you think that guy, you lost him. If you lost him, why would he try to find you in that house when he knows where you live? He knows where you live. He could just go there and get you. Why would he go there, to Kimberly's house?
You know what? That's a good question, because I think he could have saw me turned that way and went over there or anything, you know?
No. One point that could be raised here is that he went there because, you see, if he wanted to take you out, he would have taken you out at that neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Or he would have taken you out at your own house.
Right.
Or he would have taken you out right there when you were driving and he was trying to hit you from the back. As you think, allegedly, that he was trying to hit you from the back.
Right.
But to go to Kimberly's house and do that is to hurt.
He wanted me to feel the pain.
Yeah.
I feel like
not just pain. A pain that you'll never forget. That kind of thing.
Oh,
that you lose someone and you go to jail for killing that person.
And you know what? I have to live with that every day. Even if I would have never came to prison or whatever, I still have to live with that every day, because knowing that it's my fault, regardless of what. Because it started with me at the gas station, and just to know that I have to live with that every day. Even if I never came to prison, I still have to live with that every day. I still have to live with that.
No, so what you're saying is that if you would have just let those $20 go, none of this would have happened. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm just, if I would have just never knew him, I think it would probably never happen. If he would have just never knew me.
No, never knew you. That means that when you met him a couple of years ago, there was still some animosity between the two of you.
Right.
So that was the start of that seed.
Yeah, it kept feeding. Yeah.
Yeah, that Moses started to feel that hatred for you.
Right.
And then he was living in the same area, so he would see you dressed up nice, driving nice cars, and so build that hatred, getting all the girls.
Right.
And then I think the icing on the cake was when you beat him up that day during the fight when he tried to.
Yeah, that just really really made him really want to do and get him some help, get back up on what he wanted to do. Now that he ain't got to be by himself doing it, maybe he can get some backup and get people behind him.
How would that be?
Like the gangs that he was in or whatever, if he can get them involved, because I did that to him. Now he can say that I beat him up and he got stitches. He got 74 staples in his head from that incident.
Oh, 74.
74 staples, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that, so what you're saying is trying to get help with the gangs. That means that also get help from the police to be on their side?
No, he was trying to get help with his other buddies that
to do what?
They call themselves jack boys. Jack boys are somebody that they rob people. They jack people for what they got.
Okay, so did they try to rob you again?
After that little incident?
Yeah.
No, I didn't give them the chance to.
Yeah, so what I'm not understanding is that, after that incident at the gas station, why would he need help of the gangs to do what to you?
He wanted to ambush me, and he wanted to, but it's like the people that he was trying to get to help him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, to try to get, they kind of knew me as a person in the neighborhood that get all the children in the neighborhood and take them to the park, take them to get ice cream, do that, and they saw.
Why do you want to rob this guy?
Yeah, and they saw I was doing a good thing in the neighborhood, so because of that, he couldn't get their full approval on doing that. So when he couldn't do that, he got frustrated and tried to do it himself. And then when you ain't smart enough to do stuff like that, it go wrong.
So you think that Moses was the guy who went inside that house on December 14, 2010 and shot Kimberly in the face?
Yes.
She was shot in the face, on the eyes, right?
Yeah, yes. That's correct.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty aggressive shot. It seems like somebody enters and just shoots, and then because I think it hit her eye, one of the eye.
Yeah.
So this is like a pretty fast shooting.
Yeah.
And pretty fast turning, because she kind of turned as it was shot, I guess.
Well, they said she was laying on the bed and the foot's hanging off the bed, like she laying down, like she was sitting on the bed and somebody shot and she laid back or something. That's what they were saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, God only knows what happened.
Yeah.
And if Moses is gone, then according to you, the alleged killer is gone.
Right.
And
the only thing we have is him speaking from the grave, from what he told people.
Yeah. And the thing is that is critical, because when you have an eyewitness testimony or you have somebody's testimony, you have to back it up with some kind of an evidence, right? For example, if these two witnesses have come forward and they're saying that Moses said that to them, and then you match what Moses has been trying to do to you, and there is evidence of that through your neighbor and through other people, then that testimony bears credence. It carries weight.
Yeah.
Because that testimony is no longer hearsay now. It is being matched with available evidence.
Oh.
Whereas in your conviction, the testimony or hearsay that was used is ridiculous. It's based on a 4-year-old boy's testimony who had issues.
Right. That was Echo Lakers.
And that is the only testimony they have. So correct me if I'm wrong. Does that mean that there were people hating you on two sides of the aisle?
Yeah.
One from within your community and one within the police, probably, because according to you, one of the agents who were investigating this was Kimberly's former boyfriend.
Right.
And she actually left him for you.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And then you got a attorney that's his paralegal is kin to the victim's family.
Do you have an attorney whose paralegal came to what?
I have my attorney paralegal was kin to the victim's family.
Yeah, and the victim's family has no idea about the truth.
Right.
Yeah. Some cop has a beef with you, he sees an opportunity.
Right.
Even if they know about Moses, they won't touch it because they want to.
Right. And the sad thing about it, and I'm gonna tell you this, I want to play devil advocate for 1 second. Let me be the DA for 1 second. Why should we let him go? Even if we got evidence right now, and we got it on camera showing that Moses went over there and did that, and we got this on camera, we see it, we still not gonna let him go because, first of all, it's closure. Everybody happy. It's over with. I got moved up in office, and we can't stand a lawsuit right now. So I mean, he just another statistic anyway. So it doesn't matter. He can get out on parole, but we're not going to go back through all this, putting people through all this all over again. When the alleged person that did it is dead. So we're just gonna let everything stay like it is. And if he tried to get back in court, then we're gonna fight this. We don't want to know the truth because we know the truth.
Wow. And you just said something.
And this something don't happen. This something just happened. If you go look, Oprah Winfrey and all them, this dude named Woods, he had was executed when somebody came up and confessed to the murder. Said, nah, the man said, I really did the murder, and he told them where everything was, the murder weapon was, what he had and everything, and they knew this, and they still executed the man. They killed him. And he said, I'm telling you, I the one who did this.
Oh, yeah.
And they still killed him in Alabama. They still executed the man.
Oh, yeah. They kill innocent people all the time.
Mm-hmm. And they know.
Yeah. And
you know what the judge told me when I was going to court on my other case?
What? The
judge told me, I said, Judge, you know I'm an innocent man. He said, we send innocent people to prison every day. And laughed about it.
Mm.
So, yeah, so... They told me right there that, you know, if lack of knowledge destroy my people, that's why I learned law and I started fighting my own case, and that's how I won, because I knew that if I was going to free myself, it would be me. It wouldn't be no lawyer, because the lawyers, they broke in all pieces and they'll sell you out quick.
So tell me something. I mean, how has the last 10 years been for you?
Oh, man, it's been like a roller coaster. You know, every day, you know, I have to look at my kids grow up in a picture. I gotta watch my children graduate in a picture. You know, it's just the worst thing. You know, having to trying to raise your kids from in prison, still trying to help them do their homework from in prison. You know, I have to do stuff like this in prison because I'm a father first. So I help my kids with their homework from in here.
So what about the people in your community who would vouch for you being a good father? Weren't they present at your sentence as witnesses?
Actually, no, because my attorney didn't subpoena people like he supposed to.
Wow.
He didn't even subpoena people to come to trial like they supposed to came to trial. He didn't even subpoena the people who investigated him. I mean, that talked to him, that knew.
How many witnesses did he bring?
Huh?
How many witnesses did he bring at your trial? your attorney?
Actually, just the witness that would watch me in the yard, her, and probably like my uncle, my ex-father-in-law, and my daughter. My daughter testified. She was 8 years old, and she testified.
And where are your kids now? Your daughter and your son?
My son, he's grown now. He's 19. He work at Home Depot and he work at a restaurant.
So he's on his own?
Nah, he stay with grandma.
Okay.
And my daughter, she's in foster care.
Damn, man, that must be tough for you, man.
Yeah, it is.
This is something that you never wanted for your kids.
No, this is something I never wanted. And then, like you said, how has it been in the past 10 years? It's been like a roller coaster because it's like when my daughter went to foster care, I had to try to get along with this foster mom to see my daughter, and then she get jealous because my daughter want to talk to me, and she get jealous because my daughter cried like, I want my daddy, you know what I'm saying? And so she told me that I couldn't talk to my daughter no more because every time my daughter talked to me, she have to go through all that, and I just don't want you to. I feel it's not. You just shouldn't talk to her no more.
Wow.
So I stopped talking to my daughter all the way up until just this year. I started talking to my daughter again. Since 2013 to right now, just this year, my daughter finally got in contact with me, and I've been talking to her because she's older now. She's 14, and she made a way that I want to talk to my dad, and now we've been talking, and we've been trying to catch up.
That's beautiful, man. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And there's no way that she could join your wife right now? There's no way that she can join them?
Well, wow. That's something that we hadn't really discussed or talked about yet or tried to do, because I feel like now with everything just coming at me at one time, with blow that these people came forward on this case, it's just mind blowing that I didn't know what was going on. These people came forward to tell the truth about what really happened. And everything just
sign of God. Yeah,
everything just started coming at the same time, to the point that now I feel like that I got a good opportunity to get out of prison and I can do it myself. And so
I mean, what I can say to you is that, we can't even begin to imagine what you've gone through.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and I mean, since I've been locked up, I done lost so many family members just been dying on me, just dying left and right, Then sometimes you don't know that they died. You've been in prison 2 years and 4 years, and you call and say, oh, how's such and such? Oh, they died 3 years ago. And people don't even hear from you, don't hear from them. And you find out somebody died 3 or 4 years ago, It'd be situations like that.
One of the reports said that Kimberly's death was discovered when Xayvion answered his mother's cell phone and talked with his grandmother, Linda Mixon.
Right.
And she said that she heard that mommy's dead, she died, blood was on her, LJ did it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That to me, that's called that sounds like echolalia, because one thing I know, he can't make a full sentence like that by himself. So when somebody do that right there, that's called he's parroting back what somebody said.
He's been taught to say this because these are like fed words, like somebody would feed someone.
Yeah, those were fed words, because I'm gonna tell you, then when he got on the phone, then the next phone calls were about like a minute and 53 seconds later, or something like that. I think that's when it was. No, it was right after that. Right after the hang up, called that number. Yeah, about 30 seconds later, and said this stir here. She's gone. She dead. She gone. Didn't say nothing about no LJ or nobody, which is LJ is my son. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't say none of that.
No, but does Xayvion call you LJ?
No, he don't call me that. That's the thing. The point. He don't call me that. But see, then because they knew he didn't call me that, they changed it and say he said Daddy did it. Now which one? Hold on. He's saying LJ did it. Now he's saying Daddy did it. You can go through the whole transcript. They keep changing it up.
Yeah.
The DA keep changing the story.
I mean, didn't your attorney jump in and say, I mean, can't you figure out what did he say? Did he say LJ or Daddy? Because right now in the media reports it's LJ.
Yeah. But then they saying he's saying Daddy did it.
Yeah, and you have to understand these media reports, they base a lot of their reporting on what the DA's office do and what the police actually sends out through their computer systems. And probably this media report was when the initial reports came out where the name was LJ, and then they forgot to update it. Just like what you mentioned, you said something really amazing. I don't even think you know. You said DA. DA is district attorney, but you said the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Which is also a DA.
Yeah.
So you meant it, right?
That's right, because that's what they do. They play devil advocate. Yeah. And they can know the truth. But see, one thing about the DA, they don't search for the truth. They only search for a conviction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care who go down for it as long as they can move up and be a governor or move up to be attorney general. That's all they want to do. Get as many convictions as they can get. That's their job. They looking at the emotions of everything, but not the truth of everything. You know what I'm saying? Even in a relationship, when you acting on your emotions, you can't think clearly. You have to rise above that to see the truth and stuff and know stuff for what it is. When you get emotional, you can't think clearly and make right decisions because you be in your emotions. And whatever your emotions is, they're just like even on the job. You get in your emotions about something, that person that they put over you was highly qualified and he knew how to do the job better. But because you in your emotions, which you really don't know how to do that job well, you just feel like I've been here 5 years, he only been here 3. Why should he move up before me? But he's more qualified. But when you get in your emotions, you don't think like that. You don't think that you can assist him one day and get where he at. You don't think like that. You just looking at the point, well, I've been here longer. I don't care if he got a degree in it. I ain't got a degree, but still I've been here longer. Because people act in their emotions about things instead of thinking things out clearly.
Yeah.
And that's just like in this case here, people in their emotions about because they look bad because a child, this is what they looking at, a child in the house over his mom and dad body. She's dead. He been in the house all day. That's all people looking at, the emotion part of it. But they're not looking at what really happened. What could have happened in this day? But people don't look at that because they still stuck in the emotion part.
Yeah, and also on the reporting part, because here the district attorney, Ashley Rich, told the judge that Coleman had been previously arrested on charges of stabbing a man and shooting another man in Clark County. So this is this is what happened with Moses and you, right? No.
Now see that there when I was a juvenile, what it was, 2 dudes tried to jump me. Yeah, 2 dudes tried to jump me. I was like I think I was like 14 years old. I was young, and a dude had they tried to jump on me, and they had bats and stuff. So I chased the dude, and the other dude had tripped me up. He had tripped me up, and I fell on top of the other dude, and that's how he got stabbed. But then the dude didn't press charges on me or nothing like that. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, he came and told him he didn't want to press charges on me because he said, I know it was an accident. I know he didn't do that on purpose.
But you paid the medical bills for $1,000.
I didn't pay nothing. He paid it himself because
it says that an assault, a grand jury ruled there wasn't enough evidence to bring an assault charge in the stabbing, according to Rich. An assault charge stemming from the shooting was dropped after Coleman agreed to pay $4,000 in medical bills for the victim.
No, that's a different thing there. Now, that's what you talking about, the medical bills. That was on a shooting happened. That's when somebody tried to rob me. Dude tried to rob me or whatever. And I had shot him like up in the I shot him like up in the foot. I shot him in the foot. And then it wasn't even a real gun. It was like a air rifle pellet gun.
So what you're saying is that the DA was bringing all these old cases which are resolved and just dumping them over there to confuse the jury.
Yeah. And guess what? Them cases there, I was never convicted because the dude that I shot with the pellet gun in the foot or whatever, he did not bring charges up against me, and the DA in that case wouldn't even let him bring charges because he had like so many cases of robbing people. So they told me I did them a favor. That's what they said. They said, you did us a favor. Maybe he'll stop doing that junk what he doing. You did us a favor. We're not going to press charges against you. Sir, you can go home. You're a law-abiding by a citizen. You did what you supposed to have did as a citizen. You can go.
But the DA used it against you. He spun it.
No. This shit happened in a whole other county. And the DA told me, they said, all thing we want you to do is just pay the court costs. And so they told me to pay the restitution, and that's what I did.
Yeah, but what about but the district attorney, Ashley Rich, did not present these cases in that sense.
Yeah, because she didn't know what she was talking about because she's in a whole nother county. She's in Mobile County. That happened up in a whole nother county. That happened in Clark County.
Yeah.
It's two different counties.
But she used that to paint your picture even worse.
Right. She did it.
Yeah. And then what about when the judge ordered it and you said, I hate that this happened. I pray for the family. Did you say that you didn't do it at that time to the judge? Yeah.
And I said, I didn't do that. And I said, I hate that this tragic thing happened. I pray for the family and my family too, that both of these families is torn. One family torn because they seeing a friend, their son, nephew, so they go to prison for something he didn't do. Another family torn because they think he did it. Because the DA and the homicide detectives didn't properly investigate. All they did was went off hearsay and out of court statements, and off of what a detective that used to date her is bulging and got everybody believing because he want to see that. That's like sweet revenge to him.
Yeah, and then what about the judge when he said that while you have said sorry, she died, you're refusing to take any responsibility? Did he say something like that, the judge?
Yeah, he told me that I refuse to take responsibility for what I did, and I feel like I'm not going to take responsibility for something I didn't do. You want me to sit there and confess to something I didn't do? I'm not finna do that.
You said that to them?
Yeah, I told them that, and I told them because if they would have gave me a plea deal, the plea deal would have probably been 15 split 3. I would have did 3 years in prison and been out on probation for 15. No, I'm not taking that. I'd rather go to trial. Well, you go to trial, we're gonna give you life. I'll take life. I'd rather be sitting in prison fighting my case for something I know I didn't do than be on the street saying, "Oh man, I know this on my record, but I didn't do it. I just thought it was my best interest to take this plea deal." I'm not gonna do that because I like to vote. I like to bear arms. I like all my rights, and I don't want my rights to be taken away from me because on the 13th Amendment, black people put back in slavery if they commit a crime. That's what it say. I'm not trying to go back in slavery for a crime that I didn't do.
Wow, man. It is just stunning, man. It is just stunning. I mean, there's so much similarity between all of these cases, man. And and the fact that, when somebody is innocent, one thing you'll see synonymous in people who are innocent is that their stories don't change. They will stay the same for years and years and years.
That's right.
And that's the first sign that this guy's saying the truth, because when you lie, you need to remember shit to make it up. But when you're saying the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I look at it like Michelle Alexander, who wrote the book called The New Jim Crow.
Yeah.
The New Jim Crow. She was on Oprah. She was on a lot of shows and stuff. She's married to a Supreme Court prosecutor, and she talked about how you can enslave a black man back in slavery through the Constitution. How now it used to be slave catchers, and now they changed that to police officer. That's the new name for slave catchers, police officer. And under the Abraham Lincoln made it, well, if they do something wrong on the 13th Amendment, they can be slaves again. That's in the Constitution. Because if you look up the Dred Scott case and you type in Dred Scott, it'll show you that Dred Scott was fighting for his freedom, and he was fighting for years, and they denied it, said it's no way you can be free, because under Constitution it showed that black, colored, Negro was property.
Wow.
And that's what they are. You can never be free because you're property. And because you go under them labels, we gave you that label. That's not what you are. But we gave you them labels, and because we gave you them labels and we made them up, and that's property, so you can't be free on them labels. So you would have to claim your nationality and your divine creed if you want to be free. You got to know where you came from. But just like the black man, we like sardines in a can. We have no head to know where we're going, and no tail to know we came from. And that's how sardines are. The head chopped off and the tail chopped off. And when you open up the can, it's sardines. And there's no such thing as a sardine, because that's a made-up fish. Them things up in the can are really silver fishes, but they denationalize it and call it a sardine. And just like the black man, he being denationalized and called a Negro, a colored person. But if you go over there, we're no such things as that. We're Asiatics, and Asiatics come in 17 different shades, all the way from your color all the way to my color, because we have pigment in our skin. We have melanin. We're melanated people. And so it's no way that we can be these titles that they calling us, all these different titles. If you look on people's birth certificate, you see African American, then you'll see some people got Afro American, then you got some people got Negro on their birth certificate. How could one person be all these different people? You can't be. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only one race, and that's the human race. But you have different nationalities and different divine creeds.
Yeah, man, God designed us in different colors.
Right.
And it's just one human race.
That's right.
Mankind. Yeah. No, I understand what you're talking about. I mean, the Dred Scott case was a pretty shameful event, I guess. That's what I could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what happened with his wife, too, not just him.
And that case was an eye-opener for me to show me, dog, they telling us that you are not all these titles. We gave you that name.
Yeah.
And you still claiming to them names that we gave you. You still fighting for rights under these titles that we gave you.
Unbelievable.
You know?
But tell me something, Leonard. Mm-hmm. How long have you spent and how much more to go?
Well, I have done 10 years in prison, but I got life to go.
What does that mean, man?
Well, a life sentence means the state of Alabama can own me forever until I change that. Now, in 15 years, I probably can get out, but they still own me. So if I do anything, I can come back for life. If I get into an argument and somebody press charges, I can come back. Get a ticket for anything that's a felony, I can come back. I can violate. I get caught around a gun, or somebody got a gun in the car and I don't know it, I can come back. If somebody drinking or whatever, or I'm with them or whatever, and I can come back for DUI, anything will send me back for life. And they'll own me again until they feel like they want to let me go. Some people stay in prison like 45 years on a life sentence before they let them out, because they don't have to let me out in 15. And a lot of people, they ain't letting out. They're making them do like 30 and 40 years before they let them go on a life, because they make so much. You know how much money they make off of us by keeping us in here? They make tons of money. They make billions of dollars. You know, they make a lot of money every year. They hold us in here. That's why they don't want to let us go. Alabama is the biggest prison industry. I mean, it's so big. AT&T jumping on it, Nike jumping on it, all these big companies, Bellsoft, well, AT&T, all of them are jumping on this, investing their money in prisons, because It's a $1 billion industry. Everybody want to get private prisons and everything. It's too much money in it.
Yeah.
So why should they let people go when they making all this money? Why? Everybody making money. The bills bondsman. Okay, let's start off with the lawyer making money, because you got to pay him. The bills bondsman making money, because you got to pay him 25% of $250,000 to get out on bond. The judge making money off of you. The prosecutor making money. The people, the correction officers, they make money off of you. Holding you in there. The probation officer making money off of you. It's like everybody making money. The lady in the court that's typing, she making money off of you. It's like everybody. It's a $1 billion industry. Everybody getting paid off of it. Everybody like it. You think a judge gonna tell you, well, I hope when you get out, I hope you do good. He'll say that, but he don't mean it. Because think about it. If everybody don't do nothing, if everybody don't speed or commit a crime or break these laws, they wouldn't have no job. They wouldn't make no money. As a matter of fact, you can look this up. Up in Wiggins, Mississippi, these officers wasn't writing tickets because people really wasn't speeding. And they told them that, I know somebody got to be speeding. Y'all can be writing tickets. Y'all need to. They got quotas they got to make. Well, you need to make a quota. You need to write about 50 tickets a week. Then when they don't meet their quota, they shut that police station down because they said they weren't making their quota. That's how I know it's just a big scheme. This whole thing is a big scheme to make money. Of course, some people are bad. Of course, some people deserve to be locked up. But it's a scheme. The scheme is so big, so they don't know the innocent people from the guilty people because they making so much money. They don't even care. Put them all in jail. It don't matter.
By the way, did anyone do any fingerprints on the cell phone of Kimberly?
Yeah, they did fingerprints and everything.
Moses' fingerprint should be there if what you're saying occurred.
They said the fingerprints was white clean. That's what they said in court. They said everything was white clean. The phone was white clean. And then they also said that that's why I said, wow, somebody wiped their fingerprints off the phone.
Yeah.
And then they also said they got some fingerprints off the headboard beds and stuff, but they said it was unknown fingerprints because whoever fingerprints they wasn't in their database. But they got my fingerprints though.
From where? From that phone?
They got it from the bed rail.
No, from the bed rail, but that must have been when you were there last time.
No, I'm saying they didn't get my fingerprint off of there. I'm saying the fingerprints that they got off the bed rail. I'm saying that they said they didn't know who prints they was. I'm saying they got my fingerprints when they fingerprinted me, but my fingerprints didn't match nothing.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But clearly, the thing is that if they did fingerprint analysis and it was wiped clean, clearly that means that some adult was there to wipe it clean because any phone would have some kind of a fingerprint.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So right there is a red flag.
I wouldn't care if it was my fingerprints in there because I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I was always there. But they said mine wasn't there though. They couldn't find my fingerprints or whatever. But
because in a panic, whatever that he tried to clean, he also cleaned your old fingerprints.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm still confused because they found some fingerprints and they said they didn't have them in their database. They said they didn't have the fingerprints in their database.
So right there is a proof that there was somebody else there.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they don't have the fingerprint in the database. They should go find it. So,
and then whoever fingerprint it wasn't mine because they had me fingerprinted and it didn't match.
Yeah.
It was just sad investigating because they was lazy and like they said, in the transcripts are saying that they asked them, did you investigate anybody else? No, why not? Because I felt like we had our guy. There was no need to.
That's not an answer.
That's what he said. It's in the transcript. One thing I said, like I said, I got facts and evidence to back up everything I say, but they can't show you a piece of fact or a piece of evidence backing up nothing they saying.
Yeah.
What in your right mind, who would not want to know the truth about what really happened? I would want to know the truth. I would want to know what really happened. I want to know if I got the right guy. I want to make sure the perpetrator ain't out there. I want to investigate. Okay, well, let's check into this. Instead, they're not trying to do that. They don't want to hear none of that. We want to dismiss that motion. I don't want to hear that. They trying their best to get everything dismissed. instead of trying to find out what's really going on, what really happened. Let's find out what really happened. You are a public servant. By you being a public servant, you're supposed to serve the public. You're supposed to check in the matter, because if they put you over us, God put you over us, because He let you get in office. You're supposed to do the right thing, not search for a conviction, but search for the truth of the matter of what really happened. And that's something they ain't doing now. They ain't doing none of that.
This is Fair Play on justicenews.net.